The leadership of the coalition of CSO networks in HIV, tuberculosis and malaria have planned to stage a massive demonstration to present a petition to the presidency and parliament on the continued lockup of Global Fund donated health commodities at the Tema ports. And here is more in the following report.
The health commodities in reference, valued at more than $40 million, have been wasting away at the port since May 2023. They comprise antiretrovirals for treatment of HIV, medications for treatment of TB, artemisinin-based combination therapy for the treatment of malaria, rapid diagnostic test kits, and gene expert cartridges, among others. Speaking at the press conference earlier today at the CMM Secretariat, Accra, the lead convener and president of the Ghana HIV and AIDS Network, Ernest Amoabin Otton, spoke about the urgency of clearing the commodities from the ports by the government immediately.
It's mind-boggling, which is very insensitive, and we are calling on government today, we want to see the commodities cleared from the ports. Our next line of action is that we are going to collect signatures from across the country so that when we demonstrate, we will send these signatures to let the president, to let parliament know that Ghanaians find this situation utterly unacceptable.
The president of the Network of Persons Living with HIV, Mrs. Elsie Aye, also expressed her disappointment about the delay of the commodities which were supposed to be distributed to the various hospitals to be used to treat patients living with HIV, tuberculosis and malaria.
One of the key things for the persons living with HIV is that we are giving our medications for longer periods, 6 months maximum, then 3 months. But 1 month for those who have just come into care, or those whose viral load is so high that they have to be checked. So they are given 1 month. So you can imagine being given 6 months, receiving 6 months medication, then you go for your refill and you have 1 month. It tells a lot. I've checked with people, they've been getting 1 month. Facilities in regions, Ahafo, would go from facility to facility to find out what quantity do you have, what can you spare us. What does that mean? It means that there's shortage. And the commodities are at the ports in Ghana. It is unacceptable.
The demonstration, set to take place on Wednesday, 17 April 2024 at the Obras Port, Kwame Nkrumah Circle, will include all CSO activists and all well-meaning Ghanaians across the 16 regions of the country.
The Ministry of Health and further stating that the ministry has successfully cleared 253 out of the 435 containers that were received at the ports, that's the Tema port. Let's now turn to the video wall and take a closer look to the rest of the statement that was released by the ministry. It says that we refer to the media reports on the above subject matter, which is delays in the clearing of Ministry of Health Global Fund support medicines and other commodities from the Tema port. As part of the ongoing support by the Global Fund to the government of Ghana, the Ministry of Health in the period between August 2023 and February 2024 received 435 containers at the ports containing anti-HIV, BT and malaria medicines and mosquito nets for distribution across the country. Out of the 435 containers, MOH successfully and expeditiously cleared 253 from the port through the support of government, with 182 containers remaining. So for the management of MOH has since initiated the process or a process of extensive engagement with the management of Ghana Revenue Authority, GRA, and Customs, Excise and Preventive Services led by the Commissioner General, Ms. Julie Essiem, and officials of Ministry of Finance, MOH, Country Coordinating Mechanism of the Global Fund to fight HIV/AIDS, TB and malaria, that's the CCM Ghana, and COVID-19 response mechanism aimed at securing the expeditious clearing of the remaining 182 containers and forestalling future delays in the clearing of MOH medicines and other commodities. We have more. It is not noteworthy that the engagements have led to the development of robust roadmap, which clearly provides impetus to the immediate next step and ways forward to collaborate and cooperation between MOH, MOF, GRA, and stakeholders moving forward in this regard. And 6, it says that by this press release, we wish to inform and assure our stakeholders and the general public that the MOH has made significant progress in the process of clearing the remaining 182 containers at the port containing the anti-HIV, TB, malaria medicines and mosquito nets by Friday, 12th of April, 2024. Right, so that's the statement that was released by the Ministry of Health. Let's go back and get some further details about the situation. Joining us now via Zoom is the lead convener and president of the Ghana HIV and AIDS Network, Ernest Amoabing Austin. Ernest, thank you for your time. You're welcome to Newsbeat. Good afternoon to you. I'm so sorry. If you can unmute, I think you are muted. So kindly unmute. Right. So as we wait for Ernest to unmute. Great. I can hear you. You're audible. Right. Right.
A very good afternoon to you.
Very good afternoon to you too, sir. So firstly, let me find out from you, what was your earlier engagement with the ministry like before this press conference yesterday?
Well, thank you very much for the opportunity. So previously, the Minister of Health, the former Minister of Health, was the chairperson for the Country Coordinating Mechanism of the Global Fund. And we are all members of the CCM. So we were having regular engagements with the ministry, and we were always giving assurances that these commodities were being cleared. But we're also consistently getting reports that the commodities have not been cleared. And we were having back and forth on this issue until we decided to hold the press conference yesterday.
So today the ministry has actually released a statement stating about 443 containers, which a maximum number of them have been cleared, remaining 182. Are you aware of these details? And the ministry collaborated with you while this was ongoing?
Yesterday, before our press conference, the new acting Commissioner General of the Ghana Revenue Authority and the person of Madame Julie Siam visited our office, and she came in the company of another officer from the Ministry of Finance and then Customs. And they indicated to us that the matter has just been brought to their attention, and they were working together with the Ministry of Health to get the issue resolved. Prior to that, we're also aware that the ministry was engaging the Ministry of Finance, except that the promises were coming and coming and coming, but they were never getting fulfilled. So yes, we have seen this statement. We want to believe that the new acting commissioner is putting her new position online by committing to getting these commodities released out of the port by the set date. But nevertheless, because this is not the first time we are getting such a promise, we are going ahead with our arrangements. The arrangement is that, as we stated in our press statement yesterday, on 17th April, that's next week Wednesday, we are going to present a petition to the presidency and then also to Parliament. We want them to have a look at this matter. It is true that we've had a press statement, but we've not officially informed these two important institutions of our land. So we will be sending the petitions to them.
Right, Mr. Otson, if you can just hold the line there for me. We're joined on the phone lines by the head of public relations at the Ministry of Health to tell us more, Isaac Ofei Ba, for more on this. Isaac, thank you so much for your time. You're welcome. Good afternoon to you.
Good afternoon. And how are you doing?
I'm good, thank you very much. So,
Ms. Austin, good afternoon.
Okay.
Hi, good afternoon.
I think Ernest is exchanging pleasantries, right?
All right.
So Isaac, your release has indicated that you had 435 containers, 253 have been cleared. We have remaining 182 at the port. Did we have to wait for this press conference of frustration before releasing the statement?
No. We have taken a number of initiatives to address this issue even before this statement came out yesterday. And so we just want the public to know that as a ministry, we are working hard to ensure that these issues are resolved and we need not get here as well.
Right. Are you aware that Ernest and his group made some revelations yesterday indicating that some persons have died due to this delay of the clearance of the medications at the port? How are you going to make up for this?
We've got this from the statement they made yesterday, and then we want to rely on the report from Ghana Health Service, which also indicate that we cannot say that out of this delay, 1 or 2 persons have died. We cannot have that proof to show. In as much as we know that these drugs are so essential for us as citizens of this country, myself as a person, I don't know where I may be tomorrow. And so it is incumbent on all of us to protect each other. We know that the delay may cause some kind of inconveniences. But as we speak, we can't speak to the issue of death because we cannot talk about the number of people that died as a result of this delay.
Yeah, but the members of the association are telling you that some people have died due to, their inability to access medication.
Yes, so Mr. Austin and myself know very well that it will be difficult for us talking about it if we can't get the figures, which hospital, where they died, when they died, and the cause of death to prove that it is as a result of the inability to get the drugs. When you look at the statement, it talks about some places that those drugs are not there. But our checks from Ghana Health Service, the check, indicate that we have the drugs available at some other places. The bottom line we want to address is that we need not get those drugs at the port. They need to get out from the port, and that is exactly why we are working hard to ensure those drugs are getting out from the port. And going forward, we don't need to also repeat this to happen again. And so we need to sit down with stakeholders to address the bottleneck challenge that has been keeping us back and forth, which we did.
To say that the fact that you have adequate information that some drugs may be available in certain areas, it does not mean that all of the patients will have access to it, because remember, this is a nationwide challenge.
Yes, so that is why I'm saying that the bottom line is that we did not have these drugs at the port. And that is why, as a ministry, we are working hard to ensure that even after we are able to clear these drugs, even after we are able to take these drugs out from the port, the blockage, what has been causing us with the delay, should be avoided. And that is why we have a broader stakeholders engagement to look at the way forward.
Can you use just a few minutes to describe to us the nature of the blockades so that maybe Ernest, who's listening to you, may understand?
Oh, some issues are reversed for the Ministry of Finance, the Internal Revenue Authority, Custom Division, for them to respond to. And if you could see that the statement issued by the Commissioner of the Internal Revenue Authority, she has also stated clearly that some roadmaps have been put up and measures have been put in place so that we avoid this thing going forward. And it is based on that decision taken at the meeting that we are hopeful that this issue will never happen to us again as a country.
So this problem or challenge or blockade, however you describe it, only has to do with stakeholders and somebody's responsibility to sign 1 or 2 documents to allow for clearance? Is that where the problem is coming from?
No, we cannot say that it's somebody's responsibility to sign 1 or 2 or 3 clearance. You know, we have a lot of regulations governing us as a country. And so when you have one capital to invest into other thing and you are not able to use it at this particular moment, taking that same capital to do any other thing, you need to go for regulations to resolve it. And so you cannot use your own authority to say that even though we have this guy goose up there, let me use my own authority and I think this is the preference and this is that. Those are the regulations that we have to sit down to resolve them. So we cannot put the blame on one person to say that it is this person that has caused this delay. It is a joint stakeholders meeting, and we need to take it out. Once that has been taken out, which has to do with exchange of documentations, exchange of capital, exchange of tax, exchange of revenues, we have to take those things out. We've taken them out, and we are moving forward from here. Okay, what we want to assure Ghanaians is that we have to avoid this, and we will be ready to avoid it.
Okay, the coalition insists it's still going to embark on its demonstration on the 17th of April and present its petition to the stakeholders.
Yeah, so we believe that after these conversations and after this statement, there's still going to be a broader stakeholders engagement again to see how we can avoid that demonstration. Now, they will want to see proof that whatever we say, we are able to do. And if Mr. Austin is sure that those drugs are cleared from the port, he see the drugs cleared from the port, I don't think Mr. Austin will want to go back again to say he's going to go on demonstration. I know him. He knows me very well. And so we'll go back to the table. We prove ourselves right. My boss, this is what I said I'm going to do. Yes, you said you were going to do this and you've been able to do it. Okay, what is the way forward? Then whatever happens, we'll take it up from there. So you leave that between myself and Mr. Austin and the group. We'll go back and think and then we'll come back to you.
Right. Isaac Ofemba, we're grateful for speaking to us. He is a PRO for the Health Ministry. Ernest, if you're there, wrap up for us. How do you respond to some of the explanations that Isaac has given to us?